Good morning.
You
Morning,
got
John.
your good angle?
Yeah.
Is your hair looking funny?
Well,
Yeah.
it just the way the mirror sits,
How's
it
that?
makes me look like I have
The
horns.
oh
Look.
no. Oh no, the horn look.
I can't be in the middle of the mirror.
Okay. The middle. Oh, I see. We could change our backdrop. We could reposition our set.
I'm just being silly. And then there's people that are listening to this through the
That have
podcast
no
app,
yeah.
and they're like,
that
"We
don't
can't
care
see
about
anything.
your
We don't
horns."
care. Why don't you edit your podcast?"
Okay. So I am in my mid to late 40s. I did physical labor yesterday.
Sorry, are you in your mid or in your late 40s?
Okay. I am in my late 40s, trying to accept that truth.
Yep.
Which it's great. Getting older is cool, I think.
Remember how excited you were to turn 40?
Turn 40, yeah. I wish you could just stall in here. But
Stay
you got to
40.
move on. You got to move forward. And so I did this physical labor called painting and moving stuff. And boy, was I sore. Like I was waking up through the night going like, I feel like I'm cramping. And so I woke up this morning, figured that I deserved a day off from working out.
Right.
That's how weak I am in my mind.
But my trainer would say, stretching is not optional.
I know what a trainer
we
would
should
say.
Have stretched.
A trainer would say, no, because you're stiff, you should be downstairs on the bike or roll foaming or foam rolling or,
whatever.
The percussion tool or whatever it is. Yeah. But I gave myself the luxury of sleeping in bed instead of waking up to, and basically I'm waking up to self-pity and entitlement.
I don't know. Okay. Entitlement. Yeah. I had a lot of fun yesterday, like painting. Working.
You did even more painting. You did the hard painting because you were like on the ground doing
for like
the trim.
2 hours.
Yeah. You did good.
And then I was on the ladder anyway, it was a lot of fun.
I am sore and I cut myself really bad. Oh, the dangers.
Don't get the gangrene.
Yeah, don't get the gangrene. How would I get gangrene?
I don't know.
People do it though. It's different because I feel like literally spring is upon me inside of my spirit.
Because you're excited about a new thing.
I feel like I've been down in my basement office on Zoom for the last year and a half, which is true. And now we have like a hub and a center, and we don't have the keys yet, but we're allowed to go in there in the day and do work.
Keys.
Yeah, we borrow the keys.
Are we taking advantage of that, do you think?
I hope not.
Should we check?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like, I would rather not check.
We're so different.
We are. Thank goodness. Imagine we were the same, how much trouble we get in and how many, like, we'd probably both be in jail.
If you were
like me,
yeah,
we would incite each other in this life, we'd be fine. It would be interesting.
On this side of recovery, we'd be
on
fine.
The other side of recovery. And
if you were like me, we wouldn't do anything because we'd be too scared.
At some level, our codependency has actually saved me from a lot of trouble, I would imagine. Imagine you were more like me and got into the drugs like me, and then you grasped onto that as an addiction.
I think it would have been a lot harder to get sober.
Yeah.
I think because I'm not substance addicted and I could not misuse substances.
It was easier for us to, I think, get back into relationship after a resting period and rehab and all of that but I can't only imagine if, one gets sober and the other doesn't, and then that back and forth, that would be tough. So I just want to thank you that you never caved into doing the cocaine.
It really wasn't my choice. I couldn't do that. I can't do that.
I know you just didn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Not that you haven't done some stuff. Like I don't want to break your anonymity on camera, but you disliked it.
I couldn't.
You liked it at the time, but then you're
my nose, and I feel like
no, you never did nose. You did some pills here and there,
but
with pretty decorations.
But also, I couldn't misuse substances. Like when I put poison in my body goes, "What are you doing?
Your body reacts properly." Yeah, so. I am grateful for that. That's a saving grace, and we didn't have that other problem to deal with. But
I have thanked God for that many times.
But maybe then our recovery was slower in some ways because you had to catch up to me.
I have
All right.
I have realized though that it was very wise for me to stop drinking, because
So proud of you.
is a sneaky progression right there.
But
as you get older.
But it's no different than me waking up saying like, "Oh, I'm so sore. I had to do all this physical labor. I deserve." And so we can do that with alcohol. We can do that with nicotine. We can do that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about that because I'm speaking at our Wednesday group.
At the noon group.
All right, let's get our morning meditation on. Thank you for joining us. Please like and share and comment. But make lots of comments. We're live right now, so you can really say anything and we can't super react to it. All right. Before the 12 steps or AA comes into the life of an alcoholic, and before Al-Anon reveals a new way of life to us, correcting our faults seem to be dependent entirely on willpower, directed at eliminating them. So all the bad stuff,
let's get rid of it.
For 20, 30 years that I've lived with, it's like I have to be determined to get rid of it. Bad habits and compulsions cannot be conquered by determined resolutions, or promising ourselves that we won't go on doing this or that. They cannot be rooted out, for what would fill the vacuum? They must be replaced with their opposites. The secret is to substitute the positive for the negative, the I will for the I won't. Today's reminder: if I am morose, definition of morose.
That is the plums.
The plums.
Right there.
I feel sorry for myself.
Poor little old me syndrome.
Kind of like how I woke up and justified that I didn't have to work out today or stretch. If I am morose, and discontented, I will deliberately cultivate happy thoughts. If I am prone to criticize, I will seek out what is good and pleasing and fix my mind on that. I will replace my fruitless doubts and fears with faith and confidence. If I am bored, I will learn something new, even a new way to make the same old chores enjoyable. Here's the quote of the day. I stopped trying to force myself to eliminate my faults when I found it didn't work. Then I realized that I had to replace them with some better things. Initially, I love the reading because it's like actually taking ownership that I have crap in me. And it's like it comes out of me. It doesn't matter who we are. Like whatever's inside of us comes out of us. The thing is, I need the Spirit of God to, and I had two pictures. And if you have a shed, picture a crowded shed, and there's a little box in the shed, in the middle of the shed. And it's representation of the Spirit of God. Or you open it up and you pull it out and it says pull cord. And it's a life raft. So you pull the cord and everything gets pushed out of the way. I think that's kind of the process of recovery, of doing inventories and making amends, is that actually the crap gets pushed out of the way, the old rusty tools. And now you have a cool life raft or a kayak a canoe.
It's not necessarily me pushing the crap out of the way. It's God.
It's what's coming in.
But I do have to be intentional to pull the cord.
Yeah.
For me, I had to be intentional to get quiet. I had to get quiet for actually quite a while. I got quiet and just sat with God.
I have another comment. Have you ever bought a car?
No.
You've never bought a car?
No.
Okay.
What? Can we just continue?
I've bought a few cars.
Yeah, I know.
Cars for me are throwaway items, and typically,
and you're a bit bossy.
I don't think I've ever picked a car. Like they've always picked me, kind of like, here, I have a car for you. Yes. It's only $2,000. Okay, great. So I've never picked a car. They've always picked me.
It just came up in my memories on Facebook the other day when I got rear-ended. Remember, we had the nicest car we had ever owned. A friend had sold it to us for a really good price. And it was we bought it at 5 years old. And then now it's however old, I get rear-ended. The car's paid off. We don't owe any money. And I remember I posted on Facebook, here's hoping we can replace this car without going into debt, because that was our goal. We looked everywhere for a vehicle because it had a tow kit and we needed a tow kit. We looked, you looked everywhere for something with a tow kit.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, a guy in our budget for what we would get from insurance. At the end, a guy that you had looked at a couple cars, he calls you up and says, "Hey, I got a car I can sell you. It's my winter car. I can sell it to you for $6,000, I think it was, which was just under our budget." You showed up to look at it.
Yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting.
It wasn't what you were expecting.
No, or nor what I wanted.
Nor what you wanted.
But I got it anyway.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and then now I have its twin brother.
It was above,
for the same price. Yeah,
it was above what you expected or what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It was far beyond what we thought we could afford, and we paid cash for it and did not go into debt
and drove it off the lot.
So
the concept is, I've had lots of cars, and when they die, it's like, okay, next. I've taken a lot of cars to the junkyard, and back in the day, you would get like $500-600
the last time we did that, we got nothing.
No, I know. I was like, they gave me like $200. I'm like, it wasn't even worth like the risk of getting this car here. It was like $150. I'm like, oh my goodness. So then there's an excitement of trading the old, decrepit, like, because whenever I get rid of a car, it's for a good reason. Like, there's so much wrong with it that it's not even worth putting in money. Right. So like, that's what's inside of me. But then there's this excitement of the new car coming in. And so can I have that in my recovery of like, I'm excited that I don't have to drive this anymore. Like, so there's an excitement of like waking up to the stock and trade. Like, I'm trading this in for something new. I don't necessarily know what it is. I don't really know how to drive it. I don't know, but it's filling me, and there's a peace, there's a joy, there's a contentment that instead of that critical, restless, self-pity, moroseness, now I have a whole new driving experience. And so I want to be guided by God's love, and that's the new vehicle that we get to drive in, and instead of the old rickety shack that I had before. So that's kind of that stock and trade, but I have to go and look for it
and
seek it.
What God loves to do is make it better than we expected.
Way better than we expected. The recovered and sober life is better than the life that I had expected. So hopefully that rings true for you. May you find that life. May you.
If it doesn't ring true for you now, you keep seeking and you keep asking.
Yeah, but the spiritual life demands that we don't fit it into our old life. That's the scary part. You can't keep the car. You actually have to get rid of it, which can be scary because we're letting go of something that has some value on it and we're just giving it away. So there. All right, my friends, keep the peace, be of good behavior, and we will see you tomorrow. Mañana.